The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Weyburn City Council for Monday, January 22nd. This is our second regular meeting of the month. We've got a busy agenda ahead of us tonight. As I'm sure everybody is aware, we've got the fire department is here. We've got a proclamation. We're going to get another step forward on our swimming pool and much more than that. So let's get to work. I would first look for a motion to approve the minutes of the January 12th meetings.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that the minutes from the regular council meeting and strategic planning and priorities meeting held January 12th, 2026 be approved.
Thank you.
Second that motion, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any commentary or errors or omissions to those minutes? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Before we go any further then onto the agenda, I will note that Councillor Janke is not here tonight. But everybody else is here, so we'll keep going. All right, the agenda. Any additions to the agenda? Anything from administration?
Thanks, Your Worship. Nothing from administration tonight.
Council? Nothing? That's good. Thank you very much. All right, we'll keep going. Public hearings and notices. There are none. So we'll move on to item 4, which is one of our favorites, proclamations, declarations, and petitions. So I'm going to read this one, and then we'll get a picture, and then we'll hear from the folks that are here to talk about it. Probably not in that order. I'll do this first, then we'll hear from them, then we'll get a photo. All right, here we go. Well, whereas studies show that inclusive schools and classrooms provide the best learning environment for all students, whether they are those with diverse needs and abilities or their neurotypical peers, and whereas the City of Weyburn and Inclusion Weyburn recognize the importance of inclusive education as a fundamental right for all individuals of all abilities, backgrounds, or experiences, and whereas inclusive education provides an environment that nurtures diversity, promotes understanding, and ensures that every student has the opportunity to learn, grow, and reach their full potential in a supportive and respectful community alongside their peers, and whereas the inclusion of all individuals, including those with disabilities or diverse learning needs, enriches the community by fostering empathy, collaboration, and a sense of belonging for everyone. And whereas the City of Weyburn is committed to supporting initiatives that celebrate and promote accessibility, inclusivity, and equality within our schools, educational institutions, and the wider community. And whereas Inclusion Weyburn continues to be a dedicated partner in raising awareness about the value of inclusive education and advocating for opportunities that benefit students, families, and educators across the region. Therefore, through the authority vested in me by the City of Weyburn, I hereby proclaim the month of February 2026 as Inclusive Education Month in Weyburn, Saskatchewan, to celebrate and recognize the importance of inclusion in our schools. We encourage everyone, residents, schools, organizations, to join in celebrating the power of inclusive education, raising awareness of its importance, and supporting efforts to ensure equitable educational opportunities for every student. We'll proclaim this on this 26th day of January 2026. Thank you. Now, if the folks from Inclusion would like to come up and just say a few words, please do that, Ms. Wilson.
I'm always good for a few.
Always good for a few.
I won't keep you long. And you know Kim Nethercutt?
Yes.
Okay. Just to maybe repeat, because it's worth repeating, a comment from Inclusion Saskatchewan. Inclusive education is good for all students, even if they don't have a disability. Research shows that students without disabilities who learn in the same class as students with disabilities feel better about themselves and have more positive attitudes towards people who are different from them. Students with disabilities who learn in inclusive classes can expect better outcomes, get this, in post-secondary, independent living, and employment. All students in inclusive classes can benefit from higher scores in reading and math and are more likely to graduate from high school. that's kind of loaded, isn't it? Yeah. And our children with needs and our teens have a right to education based on the Saskatchewan Education Act, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. However, and that's all good, Inclusion Saskatchewan has done some investigating this past year, and they found out that some students with disabilities are only allowed to attend for shorter days or fewer days per week. Some are not allowed to attend school at all and have to do their schooling online. They found out through a study that they did, Inclusion Saskatchewan found out that in Saskatchewan last year, there were 1,300 students who received those messages that you can't come to school today. And that breaks my heart. I can't imagine that. And this, I think, a problem a lot of time is the support isn't there for those students, for the schools to care for. So it's a problem that as a province we need to address. So I do appreciate, though, that you're celebrating inclusive education with us, because that's worth celebrating. And I heard a comment from a retired LST, learning support teacher today, and she said, now I don't know how good her research is, but I liked it. She said, you know what, Southeast Saskatchewan are kind of leaders. We're doing a good job. And you know what, I don't hear of students that have been called, but to know that 1,300 in the province have been told, you can't be at school. Can you imagine as parents getting that call? Yeah. So that's something, there's always something to work on. Thank you.
Thank you. I would ask if you could stay, if council or administration had any questions or comments on what you've just said or on the proclamation. If not, no? Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry? Oh, yeah. Let's head over to the corner and we'll get a photo. We're going to have our youth council representative join us for the photo. Oh, that's all right. In case you're unsure, I'm not the youth council. Just I wanted to make that clear because some people would think that right away. This is Marisa Erasmus. She is one of our youth councilors. Good for you. This way. Right, Steve?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for all you do. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, I appreciate working with you.
All right.
Okay.
Good seeing you. For everybody that didn't catch that, our youth council representative tonight is Marisa Erasmus. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you off the hop there. I didn't make good notes to open up, but we're proud to have you here. We're very excited about our youth council again this fall, or this year, and look forward to having you here all the time. And if you have any questions at any time, raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, let me get the agenda right now, and we'll go on with the rest. You know, I will say this, though. I believe that Ms. Wilson is correct about that, about how well we do lead in Southeast Saskatchewan in that field. As a lot of people would know, that is my professional field, and we do get a lot of accolades for the work that we do in this region, so I think that's an important thing for us to celebrate. Great. All right, let's continue going. We have reports of standing committees. Any councillors want to, Councillor Sidlowski, please.
Sure, thank you. I have an update on our Arts Council. Those guys are working really hard behind the scenes on some fun projects, but the James Weir has opened up over in the Spark Center. So voting runs from January 7th to March 14th. So I'd encourage everyone to go down there and check out the local artists and vote on that. And our reception and awards presentation will happen on March 27th. Next would be our Youth Council. Our Youth Council is phenomenal this year, and they are working really hard to grow their social media. So if anyone is interested or has social media, you could follow them on TikTok or Instagram as Weyburn Youth Council. They have some big plans for their social media presence this year, and they just did a wonderful interview with Discover Weyburn. So, yeah.
That was fantastic. Thanks. Yeah, that social media stuff it looks pretty good. That last, anybody that knows our youth mayor, Harper, that post couldn't have been more on the money, in fact. Yeah, good. Any other councillors have reports? Hearing none, then we'll move forward. One item on our consent agenda, and that is the fire department report for December. So if we get a motion for the consent agenda, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would make a motion that the fire department report for December 2025, which is on the consent agenda, be approved.
Right.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. If there's no comments? Yeah, okay. Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. All right, on to motions. First up is a report from the Director of Finance on our 2025 tax arrears, if you would, please.
Thank you. In accordance with Section 3 of the Tax Enforcement Act, below our list of all properties that have unpaid taxes as of December 31st, 2025, these properties, upon notice, have 60 days to pay all arrears and applicable fees. After 60 days, a lien will be registered on the title of the property that remain unpaid. So all the properties are listed by their legal address and the amount owing. There's a total of 116 properties, and the total value is $468,525.56. So we recommend that council authorize staff to issue the required 60-day notice to all properties listed with unpaid taxes as of December 31st, 2025.
Thank you. Can we get a motion to get this on the floor, please, to start?
Me again, sorry. Thank you, Your Worship. I'd make a motion that council authorize staff to issue the required 60-day notices to all properties listed with unpaid taxes as of December 31st, 2025.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thanks, Councillor Morissette. All right, questions for the Director of Finance on this one, or commentary? Yes, Councillor Morissette.
Thank you. Director Massal, is this a combination of both business and personal or dwellings, residential dwellings?
Yes, it's all.
Thank you. Councillor Sedlowski.
Is this about what an average year looks like, or how does this compare to previous years?
So it's pretty comparable to last year, but it is up about like 100,000-ish from the years before.
Good questions. Councillor Higgs.
So this is step one in that. What's the next step, and when does that happen?
I'd have to look that up. It's a process, yeah.
But this is step one.
This is step one, yeah.
Yes.
There has already been penalties put on as of December 31st, but now the next step is a lien, and then we'll reach out and try to make arrangements for them to pay for the taxes, and then eventually SMB, the SAS Municipal Board, will get involved, and we try to make everybody pay. We don't want to take properties.
No.
Yeah. Did you have one, John? Councillor Corrigan?
Yes. Thank you. There are a couple of large ones on the list this year. Are any of those carryovers from previous years, or are they new?
No, this is just what's owing for 2025.
Okay. Yeah, so basically the process. But can they be carried on this list for more than 1 year, or do we just, yeah, okay. But that, yeah, but that isn't the case on these particular ones. They're for 2025. Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, hearing none, then we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you, Director of Finance, and thanks for your work on that. Next up is the Community Safety and Wellbeing project that we've been working on, and we will let the City Manager do the presentation, and then we'll hear from everybody.
Yep, thanks, Your Worship. So Weyburn has been selected as a site for the development of a community safety and well-being so I'll be the CSWB. The Saskatchewan Economic Development Alliance facilitates the CSWB plan, and the program is sponsored through the Ministry of Corrections, Policing, and Public Safety. The CSWB vision is to improve community safety and well-being through collaborative partnerships among communities, service delivery partners, and governments. CSWB aims to achieve sustainable communities where everyone is safe, has a sense of belonging, has the opportunity to participate. Individuals and families are able to meet their needs for the best quality of life, with a focus on the areas of education, health, economic participation, and social and cultural expression. So the City of Weyburn has partnered with CEDA to support development of a plan for the community. The Community Safety and Wellbeing and Wellbeing Plan was developed by an advisory committee that includes representatives from the following organizations. So City of Weyburn, Envision Counseling and Support Center, Salvation Army, Southeast Advocates, Canadian Mental Health Association Weyburn, The Family Place, Saskatchewan Health Authority through Primary Health, Mental Health, Senior Population Health, and Medical Health Officer, the Holy Family School Division, Southeast Cornerstone School Division, the Weyburn Police Service, Southeast College, and the Weyburn Chamber of Commerce, and also Weyburn Economic Development. So the committee initiated applying sessions back in April of 2025. Community survey was developed to gather responses from community to identify priority areas. There were 709 survey responses. Residents did express pride in Weyburn's sense of community and overall safety, while also identifying clear challenges in key areas such as healthcare, community cohesion, and public safety and well-being. So these are some key areas that are identified through the surveys and the work by the advisory committee. First, healthcare. This is access to healthcare, including mental health and addiction support, and it emerges as the most significant concern. Residents cited long wait times, physician shortages, and confusion about where to find services. Under community cohesion, there's a desire for stronger belonging and inclusion within the community, more opportunities for youth and seniors, and the creation of accessible transport and volunteer networks. Under public safety and well-being, public safety remains high overall, but there were concerns about property crime, drug activity, and nighttime safety were noted. So the Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan outlines coordinated strategies to address these priorities through awareness campaigns, integrated service hubs, volunteer and engagement initiatives, and youth and family-focused recreation. By strengthening partnerships and aligning local efforts, Weyburn aims to build on its community pride to create a more connected, resilient, and inclusive future. An implementation committee has been established to provide support for the priority areas identified in the plan. So I recommend that City Council approves the Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan as presented. And attached to the report tonight is the complete plan as well.
Thank you. Let's get a motion on the floor first to get this going.
I would move that City Council approve the Weyburn Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan as presented, Your Worship.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, so questions or commentary on this from anybody? Councillor Sedlowski?
I've had the mic a lot tonight.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say I was fortunate enough to be part of this committee. It was a fantastic group to be a part of. There was some dynamic and very interesting conversations that took place. I learned a lot from a lot of these organizations that I don't have very close relationship with or use, and was able to establish relationships with them and learn more about what goes on in the community that a lot of people don't see. So I'm very supportive of this and very happy to have this in place, and we're looking forward to hopefully building some good things to come in the future.
Anybody else? To the city manager, I suppose, or Councillor Sidlowski, if somebody, if an individual wanted to see this, it'll be posted on the city's website. If somebody wanted to get involved, would just reach out to City Hall, say, I would like to be involved in this committee as it continues its work.
Yeah, so we have initiated our implementation team, so we have organizations who want to be a part of this. So if there's organizations who want to be a part of this, we are accepting people a part of the implementation team. They just had their initial meeting last week. We're open to making a more collaborative effort, right? So this is making sure that we have service groups, publicly funded groups, provincially funded groups, work in collaborations. The biggest key for this is to increase awareness. There's so many great programs that are happening within this community that, by having everyone in one conversation, one room, you can get that information out. So if someone is interested within an organization, please feel free to reach out to the City of Weyburn. You can reach out directly to myself within the City Manager's office, and I will put you in consultation with what that group can do and support that way. Really key thing for council to know, CETA has walked us through this process. They're actually going to be providing more supports all the way until March. After that, the committee will move forward with a lot of initiatives they're looking at. A really good model to look at is what's happening in the City of Estevan. So the City of Estevan was one of the first pilots to do this program. And now they're starting to do more community outreach as an organization. They've had community events. They've had ways that they've actually collaborated information to provide out to the community about services. One of the biggest things we heard through our conversation was people don't know what kind of services are happening here, and to have one central location for that. So there's some really good things happening that way, which I think this is beneficial to the community as a whole.
Agreed. Yep. If there's nothing else, then I will call the question. All in favor? That is carried. All right. Welcome Acting Fire Chief Woke to the podium. In front of us, we have a tender for a wildland truck. So Deputy Chief, or Acting Chief, if you'd walk us through that, please.
Sure. Thank you, Worship. Some of the background on this truck. We are in need of replacing our current 2004 F450 Wildland truck. That truck currently has 280,000 kilometers, and it has reached the end of its service life. The unit has had ongoing maintenance issues and reliability issues. The purpose of the wildland truck is to transport members out to the scene of the fires and supply them with water and other equipment so that we can handle those incidents. This vehicle will also serve as a rapid response in the off-season, primarily to get a two-person truck outdoor quicker and start knockdown or assess the problems a little bit faster. We do have the budget for $200,000 for the new wildland truck. So the request for tender administration utilized the Canoe Procurement Group of Canada's Cooperative Purchasing Program to source this truck. The procurement method enabled the City of Weyburn to obtain a high-quality, purpose-built wildland truck at a competitive price while ensuring compliance with applicable procurement standards. So on January 2nd, the request for pricing went in to commercial truck equipment. And on 13th, we received pricing. By leveraging Canoe's national pricing power, the city achieved measurable cost savings and reduced administrative effort compared to standalone competitive bid process. So this proposal for this truck is $206,996. So it is my recommendation that the supply of one 2026 Fireline Quick Attack Pro Type 5 Wildland truck be awarded to Commercial Fire out of Regina.
Thank you, Chief. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that the supply of the 2026 Fireline Quick Attach Pro Type 5 Wildland truck be awarded to Commercial Fire Equipment Limited at a bid price of $206,996 plus tax, delivered without trade.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, question for the acting chief on this one? Councillor Higgs.
What chassis is under it? Doesn't say in the report.
It's a custom chassis. It'll be through, it's Ford.
Okay, Ford.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
It's F450.
Anybody else? Councillor Bador, sorry.
Mike, what are we doing with the old one? Are we gonna...
I'm going to source it out to likely a smaller community. Once I get this one in motion and get a solid timeline, it's 12 weeks to get, so I can start putting the word out to some smaller communities in need to see what we can get up for it.
The next question, I'm not sure if it goes to you or maybe administration. Canoe seems to be a new procurement methodology we're taking. Maybe just how does it work comparatively to our old way of doing this? And I don't know who to...
Renee, do you want to answer to that question?
So Canoe, it is a nonprofit group that works across Canada, and it is specializing in the bid analysis, the bid evaluation for these specialized fleet with long lists of specs. And the difference between our bids and tenders program that we use for our procurement is just their capability to do that expert specification bid analysis, and then they also leverage purchasing power to give us good discounts. So that's about it.
So on this specific one, was there just one bidder on this, or was there multiple, and that's what they picked on behalf of us?
There was just one bid on this one.
Councillor Sedlowski.
Thank you, Chief. So this Wildland truck, it's not the main ladder truck, or this is a supporting truck?
No, this will be just strictly Wildland.
Okay.
The ladder truck will be a separate request for tender.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thanks. Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Worship. Acting Chief, do you think that you will be able to sell the current Wildland truck for enough to offset what you're over budget on this new truck?
Yeah, I think we should be in good shape to offset that cost with the additional from the old truck.
Thanks. Anybody else? No? A couple of questions. So this was a budgeted item. Acting Chief, you had said in your remarks that this would primarily be wildland fighting, which would mean largely outside the city of Weyburn. And we provide that service to a number of RMs in our area that we have fire agreements with. Now I'm going to just, I know I didn't prepare anybody for this question. We do get revenue from those rural municipalities to provide this service. Is anybody able to answer just roughly how much that is and how many rural municipalities we get funding from? And it's a lot, I understand.
I don't have the exact number for you, but there's 8 municipalities, RMs, that we provide either fire and rescue or just rescue.
Yeah.
And those agreements are due at the end of this year as well. We just came up to a 5-year agreement that will be expiring at the end of this year.
So when we go into negotiations, we'll remember this as well. You know, I did also a question that only one submission on the bid. However, the fact that it was within $6,000 of your estimate probably says that this is in line with what we should expect to pay, even though there was only one submission. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. This item is budgeted, so it's already there. So we would look, I think, to move ahead. Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, then we'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Okay, next up's the big step. Next step, recommendation to award a program manager, project manager for our new aquatic facility. I would look to the Director of Leisure Services, Richard Henning, for your presentation, please.
Thanks, Your Worship. The Harry Church Indoor Pool, also known as the Weyburn Leisure Centre, opened in November 1990. The facility was unable to open for the 2024-25 winter season. Apologies. The city engaged RC Strategies to undertake a feasibility study with residents and user groups. Based on the feedback, several options were presented to Council with the Class D pricing estimates. Direction from Council on November 10th, 2025 was to move forward with option 2 to build a single basin pool in a new facility with a budget of $30 million and investigate if it's financially feasible to repurpose the existing facility instead of demolishing it. Some discussion points. The first step in moving forward is to engage a project management or PM firm with background and experience with indoor aquatic facilities. The PM firm will work as a city representative to manage the project through all phases. Phase 1 would be the construction methodology and consultant builder selection. Phase 2 is the design and tendering. Phase 3, construction oversight. Phase 4, post-construction. The anticipated project timelines proposed in our RFP were schematic and detailed design by the fall of 2026, contract documents and tendering by spring of 2027, construction and post-construction by September of 2029, and hopefully a grand opening by spring of 2030. A request for proposal, or RFP, was published on November 28th of 2025 and closed on January 9th, 2026. The RFP asked proponents to supply detailed information on the following. Evaluation weighting is in brackets. So company profile, 5%, capability and experience for 35%, key personnel for 15%, work process and approach, 20%, innovation and value added, 5%, pricing for 20%, and we also asked for references. The RFP evaluations, there was a total of 8 bids received. All proponents presented quality proposal, with a couple showing more extensive experience with the indoor aquatic space. RFPs were reviewed based on the criteria presented, and scoring is as follows. So Collier's project leaders scored 94, OP3 Inc. scored 10, Turnbull Construction Project Managers scored 77.7, KGS Group scored 65.4, JPH scored 50.5, ZW 51.5, BLDR with 52.5, and CAPM at 64.5. Collier Project Leader scored the highest of all proponents with a score of 94. Here is a breakdown of their proposal. Company profile, a stable, mature firm with broad bench strength, minimizes the risk. 36 years in business, 20 project managers, management staff in Saskatchewan, over 300 PMP certified professionals in 30 offices across Canada. Their capability and expertise, Regina Indoor Aquatic Facility, which is valued at $300 million. The Co-op Center in Meadow Lake is $51.8 million. Yellowknife Aquatic Center at $50 million. Georgina, Ontario Multi-Use Rec Center at $69 million. Iqaluit Aquatic Center at $40 million. And Southland Co-op Center, which is the new rink down at Town of Assiniboia, at $18 million. Key personnel that will have direct, high-relevant aquatic experience plus local knowledge. Mitchell Callbeck, the project lead, former City of Regina staff. He led the Meadow Lake and Assiniboia recreation builds. He's got a strong municipal governance understanding. Colton Weber, project manager, extensive public sector procurement and capital project experience in Weyburn. He's worked on the hospital project with municipal coordination. Jenna Mouk, project executive, executive leadership on Regina's $300 million aquatic facility and major government capital bills. Ron Spina, aquatic advisor, 30-plus years. He's considered one of Canada's leading aquatic facility project managers. And RC Strategies for Program and Engagement. They already led Weyburn's feasibility study and can maintain continuity. Work process and approach. It's a well-documented, proven PM approach, highly relevant to municipal capital builds, reduces risks and ensures predictability. A detailed 4-phase project management framework for planning to design and tender to construction to closeout. Strong focus on project governance and decision structures. Risk-based planning, including regular risk workshops, cost control tools with integrated cost tracking log, change management discipline to prevent scope creep. They will challenge unrealistic timelines and provide a more achievable schedule based on aquatic build experience. Strong emphasis on reducing the burden on the city administration through clear communication, full procurement support, and acting as an extension of your team. Innovation and value added. Unique owner side tools and real innovation in planning, logistics, and risk mitigation. Some proprietary tools of the bid document review for reducing change orders. Construction methodology assessment matrix for selecting the best delivery model, scope letter, risk workshop, project management playbook. RC strategy adds value through program refinement and community engagement continuity. Demonstrated modern approaches such as some drone-based site logistics modeling, which was used in the Regina Hospital Parkade project. Pricing, strong value for the full owner's representative model with top-tier personnel specialized in aquatic expertise. A fixed fee of $449,965.86 plus GST. It's not percentage-based, reduces the risk of inflated costs. A transparent breakdown by phase with no hidden escalations. The pricing reflects 30 site visits, full project life cycle to substantial performance, and a team of senior specialists normally more costly under other delivery models. Administration recommends that Council approve to award the project management RFP LEI 2025-1126 to Collier's project leaders for the amount of $449,965 plus GST.
Good, thank you, Director Henning. All right, let's get a motion to get this on the floor.
Your Worship, I would move that Council awards the project management RFP LEI 2025-1126 to Collier's project leaders for the amount of $449,965 plus GST.
And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, we will start with questions for the Director, or any staff, I suppose, at this point, but who'd like to go first? Councillor Corrigan.
Thank you, Your Worship. Director Henning, it is like we had talked about before, and I know that this was in the direction of repurposing the old building. Are they looking at this also? Is this part of the project for them?
Yes, they will be helping us engage with that process as well.
Okay, perfect. So that will just come with the number of recommendations as to what we can and can't do, or what may be feasible and costs associated with that then, right?
Yeah, they will be able to get us in touch with the right people to make those decisions, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay, sure. Anybody? Councillor Bador? Yeah.
So the price tag of $449,000, was that in about what you thought we would be at? I know we kind of pre-approved that. I think it was around $3 million for this first kind of phase. I know that's a piece of that. Is that where you thought it would be at?
Yes, I'd say this comes in quite competitive. We're kind of industry standard for project management. A project of this nature would be up to about 3%, and this is coming in at 1.5% of a project for $30 million. So I feel like it's in alignment with industry standards.
And then a follow-up question. So if we decide to move forward with this, are they moving forward right away? Do they have boots on the ground ready to go on this project?
Yes, I feel with the size of their company, they have the capacity to hit the floor running with this, and they have enough staff currently located within Saskatchewan that they can definitely come and meet with us right away and get this project kicked off.
That's all. Councillor Morissette?
Thank you, Your Worship. Director Henning, hopefully I don't catch you off guard with this one, but with this company or any of the companies that submitted a tender, did they feel comfortable with the $30 million budget for what we were projecting or potentially asking for as a replacement pool?
Nobody, and none of the responses did anybody indicate any issues with our budget for that. They did speak to the Collier specifically, did speak to our timeline and has some minor adjustments in what we proposed as timelines, but it still fell within our expected completion date or hopeful completion date.
Okay. Thanks. Anybody else? Questions, commentary? Yeah, it's, I sort of had Councillor Baddour's question in my mind too. It sounds like this is maybe even a little bit less than what you were projecting. Director, if you had me in the elevator for 1 minute and you had to explain to me exactly what we're getting for this $500,000 of project management, how would you concisely say that to a layman who doesn't understand how to build a swimming pool?
You're getting a company, an independent company who's going to come in with and focus strictly on the city's interest of delivering a project that we have laid out within our budget and timeframe. They have the expertise of doing this as their regular business, and they have local expertise plus the aquatics expertise on top of that, and they've got a lot of lessons learned from recent projects across Canada. So I think for those reasons, going with a project management firm such as Collier's is the right step, right first step for this project.
Great, thanks for that answer. And, you know, just looking at some of the supporting documents here, you know, that the Meadow Lake facility, $51 million, that Yellowknife facility, $50 million, our $30 million starting to look actually not too bad, although it's a big number. It seems to be in market, so I think we feel pretty good about this. If there's nothing else, Councillor Corrigan?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. I'll follow up with some of the other questions I had.
Okay.
So in regards to the pricing, 440, obviously that is not paid up front. Is that paid over the course of the 4-year project? Because this is a 4-year project.
Yes, this will be in stages, right? There, actually, we didn't nail down an actual timeline of when invoices are going to come in, but there will be, you know, regular invoicing intervals throughout this project, and it will be from start, which hopefully is, you know, tomorrow morning, all the way to the end of post-construction closeout.
Right. And paying for that, because we didn't, as I recall, didn't budget anything in the 2026 budget for this. Well, that, did we?
We do. We have.
Did we? Okay.
We have $3 million to get the project management piece started, along with the design and tendering.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if we actually did that or not. But that's part of the levy also. Will the levy pay for this aspect of it, or is that coming out of general revenues?
We have the levy and a loan budgeted for it. It's in the $3 million for this year.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to bring this up again, and you're going to get sick and tired of me saying it, but as I recall, the report on the, what I will call the Coliseum, and I was always call it the Coliseum.
You're allowed to.
The time frame for its lifespan was, I believe in that last report, was 2030. Am I incorrect on that?
There has been some past studies that I've pulled up on record that did discuss, you know, end of life for some facilities and around that time frame. I don't know if that specifically indicated the facility as a whole. The recent study we did on there in 2024 indicated that some components of the building were going to be end of life at or before 2030 and would have to be replaced. Currently, there's no major issues of concern that we're looking at there, other than several pieces of equipment, whether it's HVAC units or water boilers, compressors, some things are going to just require maintenance and replacement over time.
Yeah.
But regular upkeep and investing in what we have, we can maintain that facility, I believe, for quite a few years to come.
Yeah. But I mean, the reality is at some point in time, it's going to have to be resurfaced or replaced or, looking at their resume, I mean, they've done projects of not only aquatic centers, but ice facilities, also arenas. It's something that perhaps we should keep in mind moving down. I'm not saying today, but moving forward, and with this being a 4-year project, we don't know what's going to happen over the last 4 years. Perhaps this is a company that within the next 4 years, we might be talking to them about planning that sort of project for us also.
Absolutely, indeed. And their references checked, reference checks with them. Everybody, all the municipalities that have worked with them are more than happy, would definitely work with them again. They do have this expertise in the recreation world, whether it's aquatics or indoor court facilities or hockey rinks of that nature, multi-purpose buildings. So they do have an extensive experience that could definitely partner well with us in the years to come.
Yeah, they're not a one-trick pony, as it were.
Correct.
As far as project managers go. So perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good questions. Thank you. Anything else? No. Thanks for your work on this. Motion's on the floor, so I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Off to work tomorrow morning, then it is. All right, we have no introduction of bylaws. We have one item that is unfinished business. That is an amendment to the airport bylaw, most primarily the fee schedule. So we'll look to the Director of Engineering for an update.
Thank you, Your Worship. The airport operation and fees bylaw was updated and adopted in 2019. It set the rates for aircrafts and hangars for 2020 to 2022. Schedule A, which details the fee structure, was updated in 2022, setting the fees until 2025. The fees now have to be renewed. The engineering department is only recommending an update to the Schedule A, which contains the fees. The engineering department has an asset management plan that shows a continued investment in the airport. Since 2020, numerous asphalt renewal programs were completed at the airport, including crack sealing and asphalt repairs on the main runway and asphalt overlays on the main apron in front of the lobby and the main taxiways. The city plans to continue with the asphalt renewal program on the main runway and taxiways in 2026. With a continued capital investment and rising operational costs, a rate increase is required to sustain the operation of the airport. Currently, the airport operates with a deficit net budget, with the main revenue stream consisting of 12 leases. The airport currently has 15 empty lots available for future development. The engineering department is proposing a 10-year fee schedule with a corresponding 10-year lease term in attempt to promote new development as a result of the improved financial predictability and security of tenancy on long-term leases. On January 12, 2026, Council gave first reading to Bylaw 2026-3508, a bylaw to amend Schedule A of Bylaw 2022-3450, the Airport Operation and Fees Bylaw. After first reading, the fee schedule was adjusted to make the initial 40% increase more gradual. Instead of applying the full 40% increase all at once in 2026, the increase is now spread over the first 3 years. From year 3 onward, the fees would then increase by the same flat rate amount each year. For example, $100 a year for recreational leases and 10 cents per square foot per year for commercial leases. The proposed rates for 2026 to 2035 are set out in Schedule A attached. It is recommended that Bylaw 2026-3508, a bylaw to amend Bylaw 2022-3450, the Airport Operation and Fees Bylaw, Schedule A, be given second and third reading at this meeting.
Right, thank you very much for that. So a small change to the fees off the hop, but we'll look, we'll open this up for discussion after we get a motion for second reading, please.
Your Worship, I'll move that Council gives second reading to Bylaw 2026-3408, being a bylaw to amend Bylaw 2019-3400.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. So any questions or commentary on this? And there is a small change. Councillor Corrigan wondering if we need to amend the original motion, and it is my understanding we don't need to do that because we're bringing second and third with that change.
That's correct.
Yeah. Hopefully that's, yep, good. Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. Director Cugnett, I don't know if you can tell me this, but how do our rates compare to other municipal airports across the province?
So when we did a fee review, we were looking at about 7 small community aerodomes, similar size, some a little smaller, some a little bigger, but average size around city of Weyburn's, and we fall right in the middle. So with this new proposed fee structure, we actually still will remain right in the middle. And then we also, at that time of fee review, we also reviewed the length of the leases, and before this proposal for the 10-year lease, we were the only aerodome that only had a 1-year lease. So average, it is about 5 to 10 years.
Perfect, thank you.
Good questions, thank you. Councillor Sedlowski?
Thanks, Director Cugnett. After first reading, there was some feedback from some current leaseholders. Do these changes satisfy the feedback from them, do you believe?
I do believe so, yes. It's just that initial 40% increase off the hop in 2026 that was the main concern. So this is a pretty fair compromise, in my opinion.
Wonderful, thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, I would say the same. Thank you to the members of the public that did reach out. It's never easy putting a rate increase anywhere, but we do lose annually. It is a deficit budget for us, Weyburn Airport, so we'll want to try to get as close as we can. All right, so second reading is on the floor. I'll call the question then. All in favor? That is carried. And we'll look for third. Yep.
Your Worship, I move that Council give third reading and pass bylaw 2026-3408, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2019-3400.
Thank you.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay, last opportunity. Any questions or commentary or sage advice? All right, hearing none, then we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for your hard work on that, including members of the airport board. It's been a long flight. Oh, I'm trying. Okay, next up is a home-based business application. We will look to planning and development coordinator Malcolm, please, for that.
Thank you. An application has been received from Misty LaCure to operate a retail service home-based business, which is a logo design and printing out of her residence at 428 5th Street, which is legally described as Lot 27, Block 47, Plan M4926, which is located in the R2 zone. This would be considered a controversial use as the business does involve clients being directed to the home throughout the day, and proposed hours of operation are Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The applicant anticipates minimal traffic increase with 1 vehicle per appointment, and driveway parking is also available. The zoning bylaw requires that controversial home-based businesses, which does involve clients attending the home, go through the neighborhood notice process and receive council approval. Neighborhood notices were mailed out December 30th, 2025 to all neighbors within a 50-meter radius of the applicant's home. Residents receiving the notice were given the opportunity to comment on the application, and no concerns or objections were received. So that's just the location right there. All right, so home-based businesses are a permitted use, and the landowners have the right to undertake the use in accordance to the bylaw, unless provisions of the bylaw are specifically contravened. Home-based businesses generally must meet the following provisions: be incidental to the use of the premise as a residence, be compatible with residential uses, be limited in extent in terms of the volume of material sold and number of clients, not substantially increase the volume of traffic, and not detract from the residential character of the zone. So this use identified would be considered a controversial occupation under section 5.1.19 of the zoning bylaw, as clients will be directed to the home. Staff have reviewed the application and are of the opinion that the home-based business application meets the requirements in the zoning bylaw. So decision options. Option 1, council approves home-based business permit 2025.019 at 428 5th Street, subject to the following conditions. No person other than a resident of the dwelling shall be engaged in the home-based business as an employee or volunteer. No advertisement carrying the address of the dwelling in which the home-based business occurs may be placed in any media. The home-based business shall not occupy more than 25% of the gross floor area of the dwelling, and the face of the home-based business sign on site must not exceed 0.092 meters squared and must be placed within the inside half of the front yard setback. This permit is only valid for the above address and is non-transferable to another address. Reapplication will be required if the business moves location. Home-based businesses are subject to periodic review to ensure compliance, and the applicant's driveway shall be used for off-street parking of clients, and a City of Weyburn business license shall be obtained prior to operation of the business. Option 2, council refuses a home-based business permit 2025.019 at 428 5th Street. A permitted use must have a reason for refusal. So staff recommendation that council approves option 1 for home-based business 2025.019 at 428 5th Street, subject to the conditions listed above.
Thank you, Coordinator Malcolm. The motion for this one, please.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that council approves option 1 for home-based business permit 2025.019 at 428 5th Street, subject to the conditions listed in the report.
Thank you.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions for Coordinator Malcolm? We ask this question of you once a year, so since it's January, we'll ask now. The enforcement of the conditions falls on bylaw enforcement for the City of Weyburn, is that correct?
Yes, so first I would have to do my investigation. I'd reach out to the applicant or the resident of the home and, you know, find out what's happening. Normally, I'll do my investigation to find out what's happening, then it'll pass on to bylaw.
Thank you very much. Just to be clear that we do enforce these. I think that's, if there's nothing else then we'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. All right. Wow, we're through with, I think, most of the hard work. And next up is inquiries and announcements. So open it up first to council, if there's anything. Inquiries and announcements. Administration. Inquiries and announcements.
Going once?
Going once, going twice. Members of the gallery, inquiries and announcements. Yes, Councillor Morissette. I knew if I went around enough, somebody would put their hand up.
Well, I just thought it would be fun to pick on Director Cugnett. With all of the recent winds and the new snow, are you guys going to be out, or the crew's going to be out trying to make our streets a little less slippery?
Yes, so the salt and sander will be out now that temperatures are warming up slightly. This past week, the temperatures were just too extreme cold for the salt and sand to be effective, and with the blowing snow, unfortunately, it just did create really slippery conditions. But the crews, good news is the crews did make major progress in Area 3, residential Area 3. So they'll wrap that up tomorrow and hopefully move into Area 1 for snow removal sometime tomorrow. So that is exciting. Good progress there.
Good work by your team, by the way. Thank you.
If I
Continue
might
on, if you would.
add to that, Your Worship, and just sort of a PSA for the crews, if people could remember to move their vehicles, because it makes it very difficult for the crews to get around them or get the streets scraped properly if there are parked cars on the streets that they're scraping.
Good point. Yeah. All right. If there's nothing else, then we will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today